aqui no evento super exclusivo do pessoal do Bela Tintas, que eles me convidaram. Bela Tintas, muito obrigada. E se vocês não sabem, eles trouxeram aqui o cara da customização, que todo mundo vê, todo mundo assiste, todo mundo fica louco com os trabalhos dele, que é o Chip Foose. Inclusive, esse Opala aqui que eu tô nele é o que ele desenhou ano passado, aqui ó, virou realidade. Super bacana, o pessoal tava me perguntando, então, gente, chore sociedade, eu estou dentro do Opala que o Chip Foose desenhou. Então acompanha comigo e não perde nada, vem!
Hello, Brazil!
Então, gente, estou aqui com o Leonardo da Bela Tintas, ele vai explicar um pouco mais pra gente aqui do evento.
Então, galera, segundo ano que a gente consegue essa exclusividade com a 3M devido à nossa grande parceria, e a 3M disponibilizou pra gente esse ícone na referência automotiva de customização, que é um mercado que a gente vem trabalhando forte, tá em grande expansão. E é isso aí, galera.
Eu tô aqui com o Chip Foose, graças a Bela Tintas. Bela Tintas, muito obrigada pela oportunidade. Agora eu vou entrevistar esse cara, que eu tô super nervosa, mas vamos lá, né? So, Chip, something I really would like to know, how did you start your career, specifically working with design with cars?
Well, my father did the same thing, so I consider that my career
Yeah.
is an extension of his. But at the age of 3 years old, I used to sit next to my father, who was quite a talented artist himself, and I would copy what he was drawing next to me. And then when he finished, he would leave it on the table, and I would draw it over and over, just because I wanted to be as good as my father.
Oh, that's so cool.
But at the age of 7 is when I started going to the shop with him.
Yeah.
I'd like to say that I was helping him, but I think I destroyed a whole lot more than I actually helped. But he had another designer that was working with him at the time,
Yeah.
named Alex Tremulous. Alex had worked for Auburn, Duesenberg, and Cord.
Yeah.
He was the designer of the Tucker, and also was the head designer for the Thunderbird studio at Ford through the 60s.
Really? Oh, that was amazing.
When he retired, he was near my dad's shop, and he started coming to the shop. And when he would bring his artwork, I just was
God.
just amazed by this. And I knew at the age of 7 that that's what I wanted to do. So he told me about Art Center College of Design, which is where I've got my degree from.
Yeah.
So it's a degree in industrial design, specializing in product and automotive.
And your first car was a Porsche, is that true?
That's the first car that I painted.
You painted, yeah.
My first car was a 56 Ford pickup.
Really? Oh,
And
my
I still have it.
God. Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's so cool. And but having this experience so early, it changed something in your life. Just like you have experience for a long time, right? So your father told you to do that, or you started with him?
No, it's what I wanted. I started working with him. I remember if I knew he was going to the shop on a weekend,
You would like to go.
I was in the truck waiting for him.
Really?
Oh yeah, always. I wanted to go to the shop.
So he never said
But-
you have to do that.
Well, when I was 3 years old is when I started going to the shop with him also, but it wasn't his shop then.
Okay.
I would go on the weekends to a shop that was called AMT,
Yeah.
owned by Gene Winfield. And the greatest thing was that the cars that he was building and that I would watch him build,
Yeah.
AMT was the plastic model kit. They built the full-size cars that got turned into plastic models.
Yeah.
So then I got to build the same
the same
same
one.
cars that my dad built. And then the other thing is Hot Wheels would make die cast of the same cars. So I always had the cars that my dad built in my
In your
pockets,
pocket.
and I had plastic model kits. So I'm still enjoying my childhood.
Oh, that's so cool. And about a show that I was telling you about that I just love it, Overhauling.
Thank you.
Is that any specific car or any specific story of any car that marked you somehow? Because
Well,
there
there's
was
two.
a lot of cars, right?
Actually, I still have my original 56 Ford pickup.
Yeah.
But the producer, Bud Bretzman, he stole that truck from my shop
Oh my God.
and stole my drawings, then hired my father to run a separate team. Totally, I had no idea, and they surprised me at the SEMA show with my truck. So I still have my original truck, but now it is a piece of my father's and all my friends' artwork.
That's so
So
cool.
that'll never be
So
sold.
you felt with all the guys felt too, just like when they had
Oh,
their cars. So it's horrible, right?
It's phenomenal. But
at the beginning, it's not so good, right?
no, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
But the other show that always sticks in my mind is we did a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And everybody asked me, what's your favorite car that you've done on overhauling? It was never the car, but the people that we did the cars for.
Yeah.
And not that I absolutely love a Plymouth Roadrunner,
Yeah.
but we built it for this guy named John. And John was a giant of a man, probably 6 feet 4 inches tall, about 240 pounds.
Wow.
He had owned this car for 30 years. He had 2 daughters that were in college. So all of his money was going towards their education,
Yeah.
but he had the car in his garage, and it was a dream to one day build it. So his wife submitted him. I read the proposal, and
You read all of them.
when we would do the cars, I would
Yeah.
read them. We couldn't read all of them.
Yeah.
We were getting 15,000 submissions a week.
A week. Oh my
Couldn't
God.
read them all. So that was up to other people.
Yeah.
But when I saw it, and it said he wanted a 426 Hemi in the car, since he was 15 years old, that was his dream. Mopar gave us a 426 Hemi, actually a 526 Hemi.
Yeah.
We put it in the car, and I put a Hemi badge on the fender. And when John opened his eyes and he saw the Hemi badge, he started to cry, and with a crack in his voice, he says, "Does it really have a Hemi?"
Oh my God.
And the producer said, "Go ahead and open the hood." So John walks over, and on the show, you saw John open the hood, get a little emotional, a few tears, and then say thank you to all of us. In reality, when John opened the hood, he saw the Hemi in there and dropped to his knees and started to cry.
Oh, it was so cool.
And he cried for 25 minutes before he could compose himself enough to say thank
To
you.
say.
And there wasn't a dry eye in the house. Everybody,
Oh, that's so cool.
it was so emotional, and you could feel it in the air. And that's what overhauling meant to me.
Yeah.
That feeling would give you all the desire and the drive to want to do it again and again and again.
That's so cool.
And it was another one that I always remember what the gentleman said. We did a 56 Chevy convertible
Yeah.
for a guy, and when he got his car and addressed all of us,
Yeah.
he says, sometimes you have a dream for so long, it becomes a fantasy.
You
And-
don't think it's going to be true, right?
Right, and he says, you just made my fantasy a reality.
Is there any car you still want to work with? Because it looks like you have worked with all cars out there.
There was a lot of cars that I always wanted to do on overhauling that we never got to do.
Yeah.
But the car that I really want to do personally in my life is I would love to rebody a Duesenberg.
Oh, it would be so great. I'm going to watch it. Thank you so
I hope
much.
to do it. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet
Okay.
you. I'm such a huge fan. Thanks for being here
Thank
with
you.
me.
Thank you, Brazil.